Hi, I'm Ben Domencino with this month's Elders Weather Update. In today's video, we'll be taking a look at thunderstorms. What are they? When and where do storms occur in Australia? And what are some important things you need to know about rain and fire from thunderstorms? All thunderstorms require three key ingredients to form. These are an unstable atmosphere, where you have warm air near the surface and colder air aloft, sufficient moisture in the low levels of the atmosphere, and a lifting mechanism, which is something that causes the air to rise away from the surface, which could be something like a low pressure trough, a wind change, or even a mountain range or the heating of the day from the sun. There is also one extra ingredient that makes storms more severe, and this is wind shear, which is a change in wind speed and direction with height. And wind shear is a very important ingredient for supercell thunderstorm development and the initiation of tornadoes. Thunderstorms occur in every state and territory in Australia, but you can see clearly in this map here that the annual distribution heavily favours northern and eastern parts of the country, and they are more likely near and just inland from the coast, and less likely over the interior and the far south of Australia. In terms of the seasonal breakdown of thunderstorm activity, the top left image here is summer, and the bottom right is spring, and you can see those two seasons are when we see most of our thunderstorm activity in Australia. Autumn is also an active time of year for storms in northern and some eastern and western parts of the country, and we have our lowest density of lightning in winter. And this is quite obvious when you think about the key ingredients that are needed for thunderstorms, because you need heat near the surface and you need moisture in the atmosphere, and both of those are in abundance over Australia in the warmer months of the year. Now, rainfall from thunderstorms is one of the harder things to predict anywhere in the world, and that's because unlike big, broad rain-bearing systems where the rain affects a large region at roughly the same intensity, thunderstorms cause more hit and miss type rainfall, where if you are directly under a thunderstorm's path, you'll get heavy rain, but even if you're just a few kilometres away from that thunderstorm, you may see very little or no rainfall at all. And this makes it very difficult to accurately predict the rainfall from individual thunderstorms for individual locations. And this image here shows the estimated rainfall from some thunderstorms that occurred in the middle of October in New South Wales, where we had these streaks of rainfall from thunderstorms moving through the region, and then gaps with little to no rainfall in between. Another important aspect of thunderstorms in Australia is how they interact with bushfires. Lightning from thunderstorms that cause very little rainfall is called dry lightning, and that's because the lightning can strike the ground without much moisture associated with that storm. If this happens in areas where you've got plenty of dry vegetation, this can actually cause new fires to start, and these fires can become very large. So in terms of the spatial distribution of bushfires in Australia, dry lightning is one of the main contributors to fires in any season, particularly outside the urban areas. Once a bushfire gets going, it can also help to create its own thunderstorms. The clouds that occur above the bushfires and produce thunderstorms are called pyrocumulonimbus clouds, and they're caused by the heat that's being produced by the fire, forcing air to rise, and that's one of the key ingredients in thunderstorms. That can act as a trigger where we have that air being pushed up into the atmosphere, and if there's enough instability and enough moisture, then we can have a thunderstorm occurring over that fire, which can produce its own lightning, which in turn can go on and trigger further bushfires further away from the main fire that caused that storm. So in summary, thunderstorms require three key ingredients to form, and these are instability, moisture, and a trigger mechanism, but wind shear can also help to make the storms more severe. Most of Australia's thunderstorms occur in the warmer months of the year, and this is mainly during spring and summer and parts of autumn. Rainfall from thunderstorms is more hit or miss than most other rain-bearing systems, which can make it more difficult to accurately predict how much rain you will see when there's a storm outbreak in your region. Dry lightning can cause fires, and fires can produce lightning. So this season, it's very important to be vigilant and stay aware of when thunderstorms are forecast in your area, and keep track of where they're moving and how they might interact in terms of rainfall and bushfires.